Yeah. Okay. So welcome to Death Diner. Today we have Stacey's Rad, who's got to be
Hi.
the most cool rock and rollingest chick ever. And so today we're just having the day. Oh, happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh, thank you, my
There you go.
beautiful
Here you go.
friend. I'll take it and I'll put it right here on the wall.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Woo.
have
So
I wanted to say you look beautiful. You look
oh,
very
thank
good.
you. Thank you. I have no lights in here, so I lost the remote for this. So I just have candles like strategically placed,
Oh
like
shit.
in front
Very
of
good.
the camera. So the lighting,
It looks great. Maybe candlelight's your thing.
yeah, it's like hillbilly technology.
Oh, I love
Um,
that shit.
so
Mm.
if so you're a musician. Do you
Yeah.
play bass or
No,
a
I play
rhythm guitar?
guitar. I play guitar, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, and I sing. I write songs. I'm one of the main songwriters for Bad Cop, Bad Cop. There's three of us. Jenny, Lynn, and I, the bass player, the other guitar player, singer, and I all write songs and play our instruments. And Jenny also plays leads. We switch off. We get to do some cool things together. Yeah.
And what are some of the like have you done like any cool festivals? Like I
Oh my
know like in
gosh.
the last couple of years it's kind of sucked, but done
Yeah,
any
but
cool
before that, we were
festivals?
doing tons of cool festivals. We did all the Punk and Drublic festivals in Europe the first year that it was out, which was incredible. We got to go to Italy and, obviously Germany and England and we went everywhere. It was like Belgium and France, and then we did all these other festivals too. That when Punk and Drublic wasn't doing their festival, we would do Jera on Air or Punk Rock Holiday, which is in Slovenia and one of the coolest places I've ever been and one of the best festivals. We talk about it all the time. So I can't wait to go back. We love Slovenia.
Albania.
It's
Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah.
that's cool. And
Yeah,
then
we did Australia. We've been to Australia doing festivals. We've been to Costa Rica doing festivals. We've been to Mexico City doing festivals. We've been all over the world getting to do them.
okay, and then can you tell me, so you have a nonprofit you work with, the Sidewalk Project. And so
Yep.
we met through Nick Pichette, which met through the Sidewalk Project. So if you could tell me your part in the Sidewalk Project and then what you do there, because I had wanted to do like some art installations, but I
Yeah.
kind of didn't want to get caught. I had made fabric penises like out of I had gotten like weenie colored like sheets and like eyeballed like those electrical boxes that are like long and
Oh
then
yeah.
made like weenie shaped like covers that had white like spritzes coming out the top of them. And then I was like, and I was going to write stuff on it, obviously, some kind of feminist jargon or something. But then I was kind of,
Right.
I don't really want to get caught.
I don't know. I think getting caught for art is probably one of the
But
cooler things to get
but it
caught
is
for.
on my bucket list. So I want to know how I can do subversive, awesome, like bra burning type art
Stuff. Oh
installation.
gosh, you need to work with Soma more because she would be, if you told her that, she'd be like, "Let's go right now. We're gonna burn a fucking building down."
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll
So
start with,
how did you what's your
yeah.
part in it and how do
So
people get involved?
I had a massive life change 6 years ago in September, where I don't know, I feel like the universe reached in and pulled me out and gave me a new perspective and a new understanding of how to have a good life on this planet. And in doing that, like one day I was driving around thinking about Soma because I had just gotten sober. Now I'm not sober anymore. I drink and I smoke weed, but I don't do it, pills or
Yeah,
blow anymore
yeah.
or any of the hard things. Um, but after I changed my life, Soma, my partner in the Sidewalk Project, she went through getting sober as well. And when we were right before we both turned 40, we're both 46 now. Um, we had we were just doing lines and drinking and crying and being like, when we are turned 40, we're gonna fucking be somebody, man. We're gonna fucking do something cool. And like, so that was kind of like, that was our call to the universe, right? And then so after I got better, and then Soma got better like 6 months later, I was thinking about her, and I was like, what's next for my friend Soma? And I was honestly driving, and the thought came to me. It said, charity work, and you need to help her.
Yeah.
And then I saw her a few months later at Riot Fest in Chicago. And I told her that. And she was like, I've been thinking about it too. And you know how she's such a doer. The next week, we were in a meeting with Emily from Punk Rock and Paintbrushes, and she used to do Rock Against Cancer, and she knew
Yeah.
a nonprofit world, or charity life at least.
Yeah.
And so the three of us were in a meeting in Soma's apartment, thinking about what we wanted to do. You know, we knew we wanted to give back, but we didn't know where to start. And so then we started thinking arts and music. How do we do arts and music stuff? And we started going down to Skid Row, and because Emily, we used to go there and for like Christmases or Thanksgiving and give things away, and she said that that felt really good. So we went down there. We were thinking maybe like finding artists who have lost their ability to create, getting
Yeah.
them creating again, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or helping artists elevate so they could elevate their lives in ways that are empowering and you have purpose and all that kind of
Yeah.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
So we started doing that kind of stuff, and we would have parties out on the street, and it was all donations based. And we would do art and music together. We'd get a band down there, me, Johnny from Old Man Markley, and Jeff from the Agrolites. We were like the kind of core. And then Joe, there's so many people. Joey LaRocca's come down from God, there's just been so many people that have come down and played with us. Beebs has come down, tons of people, and we sing together, and we have music, and excuse me, we have food and clothing giveaways and hygiene kits and femcare kits, and you know,
Yeah.
even giving away notebooks and shit. So maybe somebody that needs to fucking have the ability to fucking draw or write,
Right.
that doesn't
Right.
have those extra bucks out on the
Yeah.
street, you know. So it started like that. And then we started getting it, we started having harm reduction supplies at our functions
Right. Can you
for
explain that
folks.
for people that don't maybe know what that means?
Right. Harm reduction supplies are like clean needles, unused needles, new needles, uh, new crack pipes, and smoking devices to keep people safe. So we're helping people stop spreading diseases through using clean paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Is one way, but it's like it opens up the conversation about so many other things.
Right.
Um, and you know, at the root of it is kindness and compassion, and helping people get out from underneath the things that are, you know, keeping them in places that no one deserves.
Yeah. Not that long ago, like I listened to Realm of Hungry Ghosts by Gabor Mate. And I have two little ones that I'm caring for that have been highly traumatized. And not so much, I mean, I already knew that their parents were traumatized, and that's part of why they did what they did. But I listened to it more as a way to understand the very possible future for these guys, right? And
Yeah.
so it really gave me like an understanding, because like I've never had any kind of a substance abuse issues because I've always thought I was mentally ill.
Mm,
And so I was always afraid that that was going to add to it.
mm.
So um, I just got peace maybe, I don't know, like 10 years ago, that those people are hurting. And that's why they are that way. And they're not like scumbags or whatever.
Right.
And so after listening to Realm of Hungry Ghosts, like you understand that the people that are in Skid Row, that are on Skid Row, are the most hurt and most abused, and and they just had the worst shit ever happen to them, either as a child or as they were growing up? Are you there? Or am I
Yeah.
frozen? Am I frozen?
No, you're back.
Okay. Um, and that the people that are in those situations should be shown the most amounts of compassion, and that a lot of the stuff that they do as a result of addiction
Oh
is
no,
more
I
like
lost you.
the stuff that they do as a result of addiction is more like an automatic thing that they don't have as much control over as people would like to think that they do. Did you get any of that, or am I broken up? Are you hearing me? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah,
Okay,
you're back. Sorry. We had a ghost moment.
that's okay. Um, let me see here.
I'm doing
Okay,
my
so
best. I'm out in the country, so you're
that's
gonna have to bear with me. Yeah,
that's okay.
sorry guys.
But I completely understand like your plight and what you're doing out there, because people don't understand addiction, and so many people have addictions that they aren't willing to admit or that are socially acceptable.
Hmm.
And
That's another thing we're talking about too. You get rid of some of the stigma and shame around addiction, and then
right,
people don't feel so beat up about
right,
deciding to use drugs because
right.
people use drugs.
Yeah,
All people
yeah.
usually use drugs.
Everybody of some kind. There's just a bunch of them that are socially acceptable. That's my internet. Let's see. You are frozen. You are
I
frozen.
mean,
There we go. We'll just go, we'll just go into
go with it.
we'll just go into interpretive dance
Interpretive
whenever it
dance.
freezes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sorry. Hopefully I'm just in the country and that's just where we're at.
okay, so how can people get involved in helping with the sidewalk project?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and then we freeze.
Well,
Oh, I think it is our, yeah.
this way. Is this better?
All right, let's see. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, now how do we get,
I
how do,
moved a little bit. Let's see if
okay,
this works better.
okay. How do we help out with sidewalk project? Are you just in LA?
Well, no, we have sidewalk projects. You can start one anywhere.
Okay.
We have some uh,
Oh boy.
sorry, is it bad? It's really bad, huh? Let me see if I can move somewhere else. Let me see if I can move somewhere else. You never know. You never ever know. All right, let's see. I'm gonna move over here and see.
We just get
This
a
is
tour
where my
of it.
boyfriend.
And here's the
This is
closet.
where my boyfriend sits.
And this is where my boyfriend sits.
This is where my boyfriend sits to do his computer stuff. So
Okay,
maybe it's better.
there we go. Okay.
Any good? Okay.
All right, there we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So,
Okay.
can they get a hold of you on like
All right. Well,
Instagram?
you can, and through
Okay.
our website, www.thesidewalkproject.org, Instagram. You can email me, Stacey at thesidewalkproject.org. Involved in harm reduction. We can get you involved in having events. We can link you to other people. And we really are trying to create, a global kind of,
Yeah.
connection where we
Yeah.
have resources everywhere.
Yeah.
This is a movement. Harm reduction is a movement of evidence-based truth.
Yeah.
Um, it is still considered a new idea, and like the way that Soma and I are creating what we're doing is revolutionary. She is unlike anybody else I've ever met. Um, and it's exciting to be uh learning what we're learning right now, because I took a role during COVID. We got our first grant um to hire folks,
Yeah.
and so we were able to hire folks from the street and start elevating their lives.
Yeah.
um and so I took a role as the COO, and I do all of the business of the business. Soma is the one that does hands-on case management on the street.
So let's go on to your cancer diagnosis.
Sure.
What year were you donated? Uh,
Yeah.
ah, Diagnosed, and before that, had you experienced a lot of loss in your life?
Oh my God, so much loss. So much loss. Like I was first, I mean, my dad went to prison when I was 2, and for a little bit, not long, but I know that that had something to do, you know, with stuff. And then when I was 15, I was in a car accident where my first boyfriend, though he wasn't my boyfriend at the time, he was my boyfriend in 5th grade. Um, First boy I ever kissed on the lips. I had to identify his body that I
Oh,
watched them take a picture of after they pulled him out of the ambulance, because I was the only person that didn't get hurt in the car accident.
oh,
And so I watched all of that. And then I had to also identify his body at the morgue. It was
oh,
just really tough. I was only 15. So that was like put me in a very dark place
yeah,
as a child,
yeah,
with parents that already were
yeah.
people
Struggling.
who used people.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, struggling.
Yeah, parents who already used drugs. And I came from a different, I didn't come from what everybody else came from around me. I came from a very rock and sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of
Yeah,
family. And
yeah,
um so that was also different and hard. And I lost a person a year from the time I was 15, that I cared about so much. And then my one of my best friends and somebody that I considered my older brother died. And see, here's the thing, because I became a Xanax addict after he passed away, because I couldn't even deal with life anymore.
yeah,
Um, I can't even remember the year that he fucking died. It's because my memory is just
yeah,
completely gone from that drug after getting sober off of it. But I'd say 10, maybe 10 years, 12, 11 years ago, he passed away.
yeah.
Maybe 2004. So maybe not even that long. 2004.
You got that, and you got chemo brain. Like, Lord help you, sweetheart.
Well, I never did chemo. I never did
Oh,
chemo.
you didn't. Oh, wow. Thank
No, I did.
God.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, maybe should have, because that would have probably lowered the chances of it ever coming back, ever, ever, ever. But I did intraoperative radiation therapy, which was um, one dose of radiation, heavy radiation, at the bed of the tumor,
Yeah.
at the time of surgery.
Wow. Schmancy.
Schmancy. Well, I was on Medi-Cal.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the kids had Medi-Cal, and you go into the dentist and they're like, "Oh yeah, you need 16 root canals. Go for it." And then you're like, and then you have private insurance and you go in there, "You need 16 root canals. Go have
Yeah,
another
right.
baby and then we'll sell it, give it to us and then we'll do the
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It
yeah,
is true. Well, Medi-Cal was actually, it was great for having cancer for whatever reason. I thought at the time maybe I'm not getting the best care, but like no way. My surgeon like made sure I went through every single test,
yeah,
PET scans and everything
yeah,
before I had surgery, but
yeah,
every single thing. She made me have the BRCA test. She
yeah,
really fought for all of those things for me.
yeah.
Um, where now I have insurance, I pay for myself, and I'm like, hey, what's the protocol here? Do you
Ah,
guys care?
It doesn't, like, after seeing what happens with Medi-Cal, it's kind of upsetting that
Yeah.
it works the way that it does. Like, if you pay into it, there should be some kind of advantage, but it actually seems like you're getting punished.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Why is that?
you're
It's
punished
like,
for being above the tax bracket, and you're like,
yeah,
yeah,
but barely
yeah,
even, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Even.
yeah,
It's not like I'm making a living wage, you know what I
no,
mean? Like,
yeah,
anyways, but yeah, so my diagnosis was at in 2018, I think 2021. No, wait, was it?
yeah,
At the
because
very end of
me and you and Neek were talking.
yeah,
Yeah,
was it 2018 or right?
I
Was it
think so.
beginning of 2019? That was what it is.
Yeah,
It's December 2018. And thank you so much,
you're
Story. You
welcome.
guys both like helped me so much navigate. I didn't know what the fuck, dude, or what to think, or you
Right.
guys helped me so much. And your care package was so rad. And like, I still to this day, anybody asks me if when they find out they have cancer and they come to me, it's like, dude, forever, whatever you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
just one of those things,
Yeah, because
right?
it's like, you're completely unprepared.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of it is geared towards people that are like, I always use the word octogenarian, but that's like, that's in your 80s. So, but people that are older. Well, if it's not your dogs, it would have been mine.
He's there. He's there.
They are,
Maddie, stop.
let's see, they are right there.
Oh, very good, as they should be.
Um, but a lot of it is geared towards people that are older. So when you're
Right.
younger, you go in there, ah, get back here. You go in there and you're like, all this stuff's for me. Are you guys going to give me a catheter and a diaper too?
Yeah.
Like, so you think it doesn't seem like it's right for you because it's meant for people that are so much older.
Well, it felt like when I found out I had it, I was on tour in October of 2018, and weirdly enough, I had been putting my cell phone here in my breasts
Oh,
to like hold it, and I know it.
ah,
And then I felt like this thing that became like it felt like a shelf, like it was hard, you know.
yeah,
I was like, there's something in there. And went, you know, and I had just spent a couple years starting to face things
yeah,
because I had changed my life and changed my experience and ended up in the hospital for a tubo ovarian abscess twice for no reason. Just like weird things were happening in my body, and it
yeah,
was like, you know, time to make a lot of changes and face things. So I started facing things, and um, you know, so I was like, I need to look at this. It's time for a mammogram. My grandmother had breast cancer, and my other grandmother died of small cell lung cancer. So it's like you need to like check this out. So I did, and sure as shit, you know. But
right,
the timeline goes right to like divorce and my older brother dying and my drug addiction
yeah,
to the Xanax. I mean, that was like when I was the saddest I'd ever been in my life. You know what I mean? Like it was when I felt like I had given up on life. Asked, I said, "Can you take care of me for a little while because I have nothing left. I have
yeah,
nothing left." And she did. She did for a couple years. She really did. She, you know, and the universe stepped in and I got better first with the drug stuff and Matthew stopped and then better, you know, and then health stuff. I had to start facing all of that, and
yeah,
the cancer was there, and you know, and you know, the kind that I had was it was 2 centimeters, so but it was still considered stage one, but it
yeah,
was on the damn brink of being stage two, you know,
yeah,
and no spread to my lymph nodes, thank goodness. Um, no, it wasn't anywhere else in my body. A couple nodules in my lungs because I smoked for 24 years.
yeah,
And and after 6 months of not smoking, one of those at least went away.
yeah.
So that's cool. You know, it's like I have to live a good, healthy, positive life. Um, to me, spiritually, in order
Right,
to be well.
right. And to me, people that have like lived really rough, I don't know if you're, there we go. People that have lived like really rough lives, you're like, you're lucky all they do is smoke.
Right.
You're lucky all they do, you're lucky that, and then like after I had friends that educated me on cannabis, and it was like Neek was one of them. And it's like you understand why so many inner
Yeah.
city people smoke it, because the stress is so much higher. And then you just walk around with this elevated stress level all the time because of what's happening. So it's like no
Yeah.
wonder it's the panacea of choice. And it's probably
Right.
the healthiest one too. In
Totally.
comparison to like alcohol and tobacco, weed's probably the least amount of
Harmful.
thing
Yeah.
that you need to worry about. But I'm very grateful for the people that have taught me that, and for people who are able to have it be just a drink or just a cigarette or just because once you like in that book that
Really.
once in that book that I told you I was reading, it like describes what it feels like to be on these drugs. And you're like, I just think about my kids going like, I'm bored. I'm bored. And I go,
Right.
98% of your life is going to be boring as shit. You live for the 2%, right? But
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so if the drug gives you that feeling and it's like way more elevated than even going on like a roller coaster, can you imagine how like desolate it would be to like live with like some of the things that have happened to you and to other people, and you like live with the memories in your head? It's so much more of a peaceful existence to be in that other place. And even though it's
100%.
like destroying your body, right? But I think that's something that people don't really
Right.
get. But I'm proud of you for being where you are now, because it could be so much different. And you're 100% not responsible for it,
Totally.
by the way. Like people make us feel like we're responsible
Thanks.
for our addictions, and we're not at all. It's so a result of everybody else.
My dog is
That's okay.
insane. Hey, what's going on with you? There's probably deer walking by outside. When I say I'm in the country, I'm in the country.
Oh my gosh. Um, okay, so,
Maddie,
so
stop
some of
now.
the some of the death related questions.
Mhm.
Have you ever thought of what you wanted your funeral to be like, or what you wanted to happen to your body after you cease to exist?
Um, well, I always, probably will just get cremated. I don't want it to be hard on anybody. But I always kind of liked the idea of my ashes being scattered at the like the big beginning of a tree somewhere beautiful, and then it can grow there with a tree, that has great views of some stuff somewhere I love, great weather, good water. You
Because
know?
it's important for somebody close to you, maybe Soma, to know what what you
So to know that,
yeah.
yeah, you're right.
And then has there, I
You're
mean,
absolutely right. Yeah.
you've traveled a lot, but is there anywhere you have wanted to go that you haven't been?
Oh, yes. Very many places. I want to go to Brazil. Um, gosh, I'd like to go to Japan.
Oh yeah, me too.
Uh, yeah. I'd like to maybe go to New Zealand.
Oh yeah, it looks
That
beautiful.
would be cool. And Thailand. I think I'd like to go to Thailand.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I want to see it all, dude.
yeah,
No shit. Like I'm so blessed that I get to see as much as I get to.
yeah.
Like it's
It's
gosh, it's
not
life
lost
changing
on
to
you,
be
is
able to
what I hear. I hear it's not lost on you.
right,
Yeah.
totally. No, it's a gift every day I get to do it, man. I have a great life. That was one of the things after cancer. It was learning to know my worth. Um, and I was already working on my happiness, my positivity, and that all comes from inside of me. And it's not outward. It's like even the little things. It's flowers, it's the sunset, it's trees, it's how my boyfriend looks just standing there, or my dog, or my kitties just like
Yeah.
getting kisses. It's that's where life is for me. I stay
Yeah.
there. I try to fight to stay there.
Yeah.
You know, after the cancer diagnosis, I did 60 days of yoga in a row and my body looked better than it ever looked ever. But it wasn't even about the exercise. It was
Yeah.
more about the spirit connection and
Yeah.
my connection with myself. It was like there was times I'd be doing a pose and I would think, God, you've always been this strong. You just didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I didn't give myself credit for it, like all those years, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of stuff. It's like the sadness that I just drug around with me forever and ever. And like, so now, even in my songs and everything I say, I don't dwell on desperate and negative things. I speak about empowering things and, you know, living a life that is filled with everything that you can give yourself, you know?
It's crazy when you do those things for
That's
yourself. It actually creates a space for like the universe to talk to you. Because like
totally
when I did CrossFit, like
so
there was
much.
so much like unsaid stuff that was like worked out, and it came as a rush, more of like a feeling, like you're saying, like you always
Yep.
shit on yourself for being weak, and you always had such a hard
Right.
time in school and in PE because, you know, I say I had baby giraffe syndrome, where I was like, I had like a 20-year-old body and a 7-year-old like neurological system. So like it was really hard to move things because I was so
Right.
clumsy. But it was like,
Mm,
this has always been in here, but you were so busy like shitting on yourself that you never put yourself to the test because you were too busy shitting on yourself. So you go and you give to
right.
yourself in like a yoga environment or like a CrossFit environment, and you're so busy doing the thing, like you're counting or whatever, and you can't even think of like, I'm a piece of shit. You're just going 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the universe
Huh,
goes like fucking
right.
cracks a fucking hole in your head, and then goes like, look,
Yeah.
asshole,
Yeah.
you've always been this good, and then you go,
Yep.
oh shit,
I
right?
am good. Yeah.
But if you
It is
don't,
100%.
yeah,
100%.
because when you're like really, really getting into it or whatever, there's no space for any of that to come. And so then,
Negative
like,
stuff.
yeah,
Right. That negative chatter will get you too, man. That negative chatter needs to just fuck off. And it happens to me sometimes, but I've gotten pretty good at not going there so much.
yeah,
Like, I know I bitch about some things here and there, but like, I mean, I go so far as to like not watch, you know, gnarly things on TV, murder shows, anything that's going to get me in a fucking state that's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I just
yeah,
don't go there so I could stay connected and on this
yeah,
side of life because it's a
yeah,
much healthier place to
right,
be.
right. So, so I try and have a funny little question like at the end. Uh,
Okay.
if if you knew where you were going, right? The plane's going down, but
Mm.
the flight attendant says you can eat anything in the world you want. We have anything you want. You know, you're gonna go anyway. What do you order?
Oh gosh.
I don't even have an answer to this question. I just like to ask.
I know I don't know exactly the wine, but it would be like a decadent chocolate mousse with whipped cream on top of it, and a wonderful glass of a Cabernet that's like, you know, a glass that you would be like, oh, you got to drink one of those like that, you know? It would be a chocolate mousse
Yeah,
with whipped cream, and it would be a nice glass of Cabernet
yeah,
Sauvignon.
yeah, yeah. That's great. Because I remember at one point in time, like before my daughter was allergic to them, she said she just wanted like 16 McGriddles or something. And I was like,
Fair enough.
girl, have we not eaten at all these different places and all these different places on the planet? And you're saying you want McGriddles? You sure about that?
Girl wants what she wants until
Chocolate,
she grows up.
chocolate, chocolate mousse is full blown like, oh my God. And anybody that goes, it's too rich.
Mm-mm.
They'll
That's
put
how
a
I
diaper
want
on.
both of those things. I want both of those things to be incredibly rich.
Yes. Yeah. And like a big like brandy schooner. Like,
Oh yeah, a big
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like 20 minutes to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah. Just
Yeah.
bring me
Yeah.
the bottle. It would be the
You have
bottle.
the one in one hand and the other in the other hand, as you're like going down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been awesome talking to you. And I'm gonna get with
Yeah,
you.
I
I'm gonna
love you,
get with you
buddy.
guys because I have a lot of I started doing street art when I had a lot of pent up aggression, and the person that I had the pent up aggression towards, I couldn't exactly strangle. And so so I made street art and I put it up around in their neighborhood, like hoping that they would see it, just because it gave me like
Oh, that's
pride,
awesome.
you know. And then I just started doing it like from then, just because it, like, I really want to be the guy that like sits with the megaphone and is like, oh, a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Like, I really want to do that, but that person is never looked upon very fondly. So I just like it to be more like subtle. And then, and then I don't go to prison.
I think we have a lot of people we can introduce you to.
Okay.
I think there's quite a few friends around.
Oh my God. I would do just about anything. Like,
All right,
oh my gosh, I have and there's no like there's no sacred space for me really. Like,
great.
people go, well, well, you can't make fun of. I go, you certainly can. There's nothing's off limits. So, and like I have a bucket list that I kind of want to get arrested in a protest. So, that
All
hasn't
right.
happened yet. So,
So you need to come. All right. Well, let's hope it
yeah.
doesn't. Although you could, I mean, I think I don't know. You probably it probably would be easy. I don't know. I don't break the rules these days. I'm the one in the office going, "Can we not? Can we not? Can we not go to
Yeah.
jail
Yeah.
today?"
Well, if you guys know the parameters of not getting arrested, that would be great. But I'd love to push the envelope of.
The boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, come down. Are you in LA adjacent? Where are
I'm
you
halfway
now?
between LA and San Diego, and then I'm like 25 miles
Oh,
inland. So
okay.
they're
So
about
you should
equal
come up
distance.
to LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come up to LA and maybe talk with Soma and go out on a Sunday or something. We always need volunteers, and like even going out on the street is pushing back against mainstream everything, dude. Like going out and helping people is like anti-human being.
Okay, I have to I have
You
to
know what I
tell you
mean?
this.
Like,
I have to tell you this story before we sign off, because it does have to do with being up in LA. I had this friend that was really dense, really, really dense. We go up to LA and she looks at all the tents and she goes, is there a concert happening? And I go, what are you talking about? She goes, all these people are camped out to get concert tickets. And I go, no, sweetheart, they live there. And she goes, no, they don't. They don't live there. They're camped out to get concert tickets. And I was like, no, no,
wow, that's
no.
insane. If people really think that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it was like part of you just, and that's when you want to go, you're so stupid. Right. But then like
Yeah.
she just like, some people just don't got it going on and they just can't put I mean, because we were by Little Tokyo. So it was like it's all, it's all over right there. So it's like, how do
Yeah.
you come up with that? It's because the elevators only goes up to the second floor and there's like 85 floors, right?
Right. Or maybe she comes from an environment where she's never seen it and never
Yeah.
had to even ask about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe she's so sheltered that like
Yeah.
she doesn't have any idea really
Right.
what the fuck she's
Right.
looking at.
Right. Right. because we, she was from around here and we don't really have that too much. Well, and this was
Yeah.
also like 8 years ago or so, whereas we have
Mhm.
homeless encampments here too. So, it's just out of
Yeah.
control, and nobody wants to look at what the real problem is or put money where the real problem is, which is
Helping people with their trauma, helping people with their problems, helping people that are mentally ill,
yeah,
folks that might use drugs, like find stable footing or treatment or whatever is going to work for them. It's a myriad of many things,
yeah,
but what it is helping people on a one-on-one basis. It's really, showing up consistently. And even if it's helping somebody get their glasses or their medication or a wound cleaned out,
yeah,
or that's what it is.
yeah. It's a
That's where
lot.
it starts.
It's
Even this is where it is with harm reduction. Even clean new needles is a start to helping
exactly.
people out.
Yes.
You just don't see it that way, but it is like starting a connection. It's starting if I'm gonna do this, that's nice to myself. Maybe the next thing I do is going to care about myself a little more too, and a little bit more too, and a little
Yeah.
bit more too, and a little bit
Yeah.
more too. I
Well,
mean, there's so many different things.
and that's the first step for, because a lot of these people have never been shown compassion like a day in their
Right,
lives. And you show them compassion by giving them something
right.
that's clean, and not shaming them or calling them scumbags or kicking them or
No,
robbing them
right.
or whatever.
Or
So,
even asking somebody down there, what's your dream of being? What do you want to be in life? Like, what if you had your dream, what would that be?
so,
And maybe
so,
that's all the difference to get somebody living a purposeful life?
so, um, this is my verbiage. Spirit's been laying this on my heart like since we started talking. So you've seen those like little libraries where they have like
Yeah,
it's like a little library.
yeah.
Someone had made like a little art supply closet. Isn't that
That's
adorable?
awesome.
So that people like and so then they asked people in the neighborhood to donate like art supplies, because we all got like shit that we're not using. And they just
Yeah.
asked people in the neighborhood to like donate art supplies, and then they made like a little like a little art library or art giveaway cupboard, give some, take some.
Amazing.
So I don't know what you're supposed to do with that information, but it quit talking
That's
now.
awesome. That would be incredible within Skid Row. Wow, that's actually, thank you for saying that. There's this
Well, it wasn't me.
this yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Thank you to
I'm
you.
like, okay. Yeah. So, and I don't know what you're going to do with that, but I think that's a great, because you said you distributed art supplies and stuff, right?
We did at our events. Yeah, we would do like a big mural. We'd paint together, and then I would give out, pads of paper at least to get people writing or drawing or whatever
Yeah.
pens.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that would be incredible. There's this grant going on right now from some big art grant. It's for $50,000 to do like a installment of something mechanics and art. And I'm wondering if there's something in that, where if there was those art supply stations in places like Skid Row and in art and in homeless encampments in general, if that would be something that would get people creating. I don't know. It sounds
Right.
like that might
So
be
so
something
maybe
neat.
like make those little libraries, have it look like a little library. By
Right.
us, somebody made a TARDIS, and the TARDIS is full of books. So at first we
That's
thought the
awesome.
TARDIS was neglected and we were gonna abscond with it, but they turned it into like a little library. But if you had something like that that was like waterproof,
Right.
like those little buildings, or like the little libraries,
Yeah.
that you could put like a sketchbook, and
Yeah.
like some people just like to do like those prefab craft projects, like but at least,
Totally.
yeah, so maybe like if you want help working on something like that, like that's all I'm saying, because
All right.
I'm all about those creative outlets.
Same. Me too. Every single time I ever needed it, my guitar was the thing that got me out
Yeah,
of it. So I know it.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's been lovely talking to you and doing our interpretive dance.
Yes.
And I'll be following up on you and
Yeah.
hopefully getting
Same.
together and actually seeing you in person for once, because I've never seen you in person.
Yeah. You have to come to a show. You have to
Yes,
come to a show.
yes.
And if we ever do a video for my song Breastless, it's not, I never left you out of that. We just never did it yet. So if we
Okay,
do it, I'll be in
okay,
touch with you. Okay.
okay. And we have tons and tons and tons of people we can just wrangle. So of all
Ladies
different
being
kinds.
great.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this will be on
I
YouTube
love it.
later
I love it.
for
Love
all
it.
y'all. And I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Love
Love you
yourself
too.
first.
Bye. Love yourself first. That's
Yes,
it. You can't love anything else if you can't
yes.
love yourself first.
And then if you and number two is
Bye.
dogs. Dogs number two.
Yeah, it's two. Number two is
Yeah.